Good morning, it's Andrew Jose, licensed real estate agent and auctioneer, and just reporting to you today with a market moment. CoreLogic reported yesterday the data set for the June quarter, and one of the things it stated was that the Melbourne market is seeing values drop down to 2.3%, which is a little bit consistent with what we're seeing out there in the field. I mean, earlier in the year, January, February, if we were listing a property for auction, then we had an estimated selling range on that property. We were selling under competition well outside the top end of that range in most circumstances, just due to buyer energy and activity that was occurring. What we're finding now is that we're still setting that estimated selling range, and we're still auctioning properties and we're still getting them sold. However, we are selling within the range as a general rule. So good to talk about the broader Melbourne market, where we can zero in and focus a little bit more on the areas that we service, which is City of Whitehorse and City of Maroondah. We are finding we're still selling properties. There's no issues with that. However, we are selling within the range at the moment. The one area that sort of bucks the trend, which is showing tremendous energy at the moment, is the first home buyer market. Now, the first home buyer market can be described as up to price bracket $600,000. The state government, of course, gives stamp duty exemptions to any properties sold to first home buyers up to that level, and also up to the $750,000 price bracket, where first home buyers are eligible for a stamp duty concession up to that level. So we're great energy in those price brackets at the moment. We had an auction that sold on the weekend, number 3 at 4 Dublin Road in Ringwood East. Was well attended through the campaign. We had 5 bidders at auction. The reserve was $600,000, and actually under competition, the property sold for $632,500 in a great result for our business. We had another property that we've been marketing recently, another unit, and that's also got a price point around the $600,000 mark, and we had more than 60 groups of buyers go through that property. Now, it's important to understand that, of course, we're complying with all of COVID legislation. We've got hand sanitizer available at opens, and we're making sure we're limiting the number of people that are in the dwelling at any one time. But of course, tremendous queues had formed to get into that property, and I can honestly tell you, if I have 60 groups of buyers come through an open for if I have 60 groups of buyers go through a campaign, generally I know that property is going to sell well. So to have that many buyers go through one open for inspection is truly exceptional, and it's just it's another indicator of the type of energy that's there in first home buyer properties in the market at the moment in the City of Whitehorse, City of Maroondah. So if you've got a property to sell, or if you've got an investment property that you actually have at the moment and you're thinking of selling, now's not a bad time to consider pushing it out. First home buyers are taking advantage of record low interest rates. They're taking advantage of stamp duty exemptions and concessions, and I believe under some circumstances they're taking advantage of the COVID-19 superannuation drawdowns that were allowed by the federal government, $10,000 last financial year and $10,000 this financial year, to boost their deposits and get into the market. So get in touch if you're thinking of selling, or if you'd like any advice around what's going on in the broader market across the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. I'm Andrew Jose. I'm your local, proven and trusted agent, and I look forward to talking to you again sometime in the future.